Let me restart the background. Sometimes that gets locked up. Here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm going to restart stocks to get that going. Welcome to the Week Ahead News Show. Currently just for me, Liam, for today's episode. It is episode 60. Hope everyone had a good Monday and start to the week. It's currently April 27th, 2026. We have stocks for today above us. Make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Support us any way you can. That would be great. Thank you for stopping by on the Lead Doodle channel. I'll be going right into weather, and we'll go right into... We should have it set up. Yeah, let's see if the weather overlay works. Yeah, alright, I do have to restart. Capture on me again. Alright, guys, welcome. Alright, let's get it right. Sorry about that. Let's get right into it. Today we had a high of 75, a low of 41, partly cloudy. Tomorrow it's going to rain, 90% chance of rain, high of 72, low of 53. Let me also... Wednesday we have a 95% chance of rain, high of 58, low of 45. Thursday, sunny, partly cloudy, high of 53, low of 38. So we're getting a little bit colder, not the highs like we've seen with this rain. Friday, partly cloudy, another cold one, high of 51, low of 38. Saturday, partly cloudy. Looks like it's a high of 49, low of 34. 49, my bad. Sunday, 54, 37, partly cloudy. Next Monday, 40% chance of rain. Looks like it'll be still chilly in the next week and rainy. High of 57, low of 44. Going right into it today, our first light today was at 5:56 a.m. Our sunrise today was at 6:25 a.m. Our sunset was at 8:15 a.m., p.m., which is perfect. Our last light was at 8:45 p.m. Total daylight about 13 hours and 49 minutes of daylight, which is great. We're about to get to 14 hours and then 15 hours. Our max is 15 hours and 8 minutes on July 21st. Decent humidity. Right now the moon's in waxing gibbous, about 87% illumination. Our next full moon's in 4 days. Our moon set is at 4:25 a.m. and our moon rise is at 4:27 p.m. Cool to see. And we'll go right back into it. Hope everyone's having a great day. Take a sip of water real quick before we go into the next topics. So the last week, actually, the S&P 500 was up 56 points. Not too many at all. Not really the best. Investors, big ones. So, sorry about that. Wish I could go into more. Normally they do better with the stocks. I wish I could add some. I could check. The Dow was last week. Was up also amount too. The Dow Jones was down actually the last week, 540 points. So not really the best, but small gains today. We'll have to see with all this uncertainty. We have sports going on right now. Looks like the Penguins are up 3-2 against the Phillies. Sorry about that. Against the Phillies, and they're also down in the series 3-1, so they have to win this game to win the series. And it looks like the Guardians lost today, so no fun there. My first funny topic, because there were some crazy moments that happened over the weekend with Trump and everything. But apparently there was no comedian at the comedy dinner. The White House Correspondents' Dinner has long been one of the hosts of unique traditions in American politics, a former event with presidents, journalists, and celebrities gather for a night that blends prestige with sharp political humor. At the center of its stars are usually headlined at a community tasked with roasting everyone in the room, from a president to a press corps. Normally that's how it goes down. But this year took a surprising turn. There was no comedian. Instead of stand-up comedy, organizers brought in a mentalist performer, shifting the tone away from satire and towards something more controlled and less confrontational. The decision didn't happen randomly. It reflects broader change in the political and media climate right now. In recent years, For Dinner's a comedy segment has become increasingly controversial. Comedians have faced backlash from both political parties, media figures, and publics for jokes that some are seen crossing the lines, even though it's a comedic event. What used to be playful roasting has, in today's hyper-polarized environment, turned into high-risk performance. Almost any joke could spark outrage. By removing the comedian altogether, association, the group that organizes the event, essentially chose to avoid becoming the story that's happening as a chill event. Probably everything going on right now. Critics argued that if a decision was stripped away made the dinner culturally relevant in the first place. The comedian's role has historically served as a rare moment of accountability, using humor to challenge power in a room full of powerful people without the element. The event felt more like a traditional former dinner than a sharp, self-aware, and immediately respectable. A lot of the supporters there said a change is necessary in an era where political tensions are high and public trust in media is fragile. Avoiding controversy might help preserve the event's core purpose, honoring journalism and maintaining relationships between press and government. The irony is hard to ignore, though, so that's funny. Next sip of water, and we're going to the next one. So yesterday, when I was doing a lot of these stories for the White House Correspondents' Dinner suspect, the shooting suspect, sent a manifesto to his family. CBS News reviewed it in a shooting incident that disrupted the White House Correspondents' Dinner in D.C. when a 31-year-old suspect, Cole Allen, attempted to breach security and target high-ranking government officials, according to CBS News. Investigators say Allen wrote a detailed manifesto prior to the attack, and he was actually questioned about it a little bit on his interview with 60 Minutes, and he got so butthurt over that because Trump, which we'll talk about, but he asked him about his manifesto, and Trump talks about bad people. Sorry, the manifesto talks about bad people in politics. He doesn't even name him, and he's like, "Well, that wasn't me. You shouldn't say that." And he never even says it. So he just said what he said. Revealed that his primary goal was to attack members of the Trump admin, listing targets prioritized from the highest ranking to lowest. Oh, I need to mute us. My bad, guys. Doesn't really matter though. While he stated that hotel staff and civilians were not his intended target, he acknowledged that he's willing to harm necessary to reach those officials, which he said in messages shortly before the attack, reportedly to his family members. He also described aspects of his plan, including the choice of weapon. He indicated he would use ammunition intended to reduce collateral damage, suggesting that some level of calculated planning rather than a complete impulsive act. For sure, yeah, you have to be calculated to break into a place like that. On the night of the event, when he arrived at the venue, the Washington Hilton, armed with multiple weapons, including a shotgun, handgun, and knives, he managed to get inside the hotel, reportedly as a guest, and then changed towards a security checkpoint near the ballroom where dinner was taking place. Law enforcement and Secret Service agents responded quickly. Shots were fired during the confrontation. At least one agent was struck, but protected by a bulletproof vest, which is good to see. Good for him. God bless. The suspect was subdued before reaching the main ballroom, preventing what officials believe could have been a far more deadly attack. The incident caused huge panic among attendees, including journalists and top political figures, and led to the immediate evacuation of the event. President Donald Trump and other officials were safely escorted out, and the dinner was canceled shortly afterwards. Authorities say the suspect's brother played a key role in alerting the police after receiving alarming communications from him prior to the attack. And this is crazy. It seems like attacks only get stopped when the people get caught when their families speak up. Investigators are still working fully with his family and to understand what stuff he left about his motives, background, and any political influences. And early evidence suggests a politically driven attack fueled by personal grievances outlined in his writings. Really, the bottom line is that it was a planned targeted attack that was stopped before reaching its intended victims. The manifesto provides critical insight into his mindset, showing premeditation, political targeting, and awareness of potential collateral damage, while also raising broader concerns about security and raising political violence in the U.S., especially with, we really got to protect people, and we really have to make sure, because how bad mental health is that people like him that are crazy can't really get orders weapons in America. Obviously I condemn this type of act. It's sad to see it happening time and time again. I'm really happy his family was able to speak up about that one. I mean, really, because it's just going to be me, I didn't want to keep talking for 40 minutes on 4 topics. So we'll talk a little bit. Iran still back and forth. But we'll talk about a local topic here soon. And then that'll probably be it for me tonight. And right now we're seeing with Australia News that we talked about last time, it's still happening. Where like Iran's checking chips and then the US is checking chips and they all got to pay fees to both of them. It's crazy. But it's pretty much still shut off and we have our own blockade there. Once again, hope everyone's having a great night. Thank you for stopping by and for support. I really appreciate it. Drop any comments if you have any input. Our local one topic is about how there's a ribbon cutting on 2 new recreational sites here in Ohio. Celebrate 2 new outdoor rec sites in the state's Appalachian region. The goal of these projects is to expand access to nature, boost tourism, and support local economies. By encouraging more people to explore Ohio's outdoors, it's good to see. The first project is a new visitor center at the Appalachian Hills Wildlife Area. This facility is designated to serve as central hub for visitors, offering information about the surrounding landscape, wildlife, and recreational opportunities. It helps make the area more accessible and educational for families, hikers, and nature enthusiasts. Sometimes it's a nice stop. Second project also included new lodging and camping options at the Jesse Owens State Park. I believe this is outside Columbus. The state added cabins and campground to give visitors more ways to stay overnight. This is a significant upgrade as it transforms the park from a day-use destination to a place where people can spend weekends or longer trips, generate the state for some money as well. State leaders emphasize that both sites are part of a broader effort to invest in Ohio's natural resources. By improving infrastructures like trails, lodging, and visitor facilities, the state hopes to attract more tourists while also giving residents better access to outdoor activities like hiking, fishing, and wildlife viewing. It's always great to see. Another key theme of the event is economic impact. Officials noted these projects like these can bring more visitors in a nearby town, supporting local businesses such as restaurants, shops, and lodging providers. In rural parts of Ohio, especially in the Appalachian region, that kind of tourism can be especially valuable to bring some money in when they don't have much. Overall, ribbon cutting marks a continued push by Ohio to modernize and expand the park system, making it easier and more appealing for people to get outside, stay longer, and experience what the state has to offer, which is always great to see in my opinion. So I think the Jesse Owens State Park is in, like McConnersville. So you far away, let me look. Yeah, pretty much Columbus, 2.5 hours. So another quick episode, just me tonight. Tommy couldn't make it, not feeling too well, which I get. We'll be back here Thursday with the Northeast Ohio Sports Show. I'm trying to think, because normally we'll talk about small, minor things. Talking about the shooting was crazy, and his manifesto and what had come out about that. That'll be a hot topic, and about this everything going on with Trump. Stuff in the Middle East we'll stay up both on. If anything new happens, not much stuff in Epstein. I think they said to stop releasing files for now. I think they may have stopped investigating it because they talked about how they didn't have hard evidence in those files, even though there's hard evidence everywhere. So that's really it for me. Me, Liam, here at the Leader Duel channel. Thank you for stopping so much here at the Week Ahead News Show. Had to pause there for a second. Make sure you stop by here at 8:30 here on Thursday for a Northeast Ohio Sports Show. Quick episode for everyone tonight. Thank you for stopping by and giving me your time. Give us our support any way you can. Our Facebook's in the description. Have a great night, Ohio.